All right, welcome back here at JamPlay.com, Mark Lettieri, and this particular section is real heavy on part arranging. I call this technique or concept chord splitting. And what I mean by that is, say you've come up with a progression, might be kind of complicated, maybe not, but in this case, let's say you want to take advantage of splitting the chord into two separate parts or two separate tracks. You could have one guitar player play one thing and the other guy play the other, or you could double track yourself. So what I did is I constructed this part that's kind of a little bit busy on purpose so that I could take the chords apart, split them up by register, and divide the parts between one and two guitars. So for example, a chord like this, sort of major 9 sound in C, well, just by looking at it, I can divide this into two parts. There's my bottom part, there's my top part. There's your bottom part, there's your top part, right? So rather than playing the whole thing, or which you can do if you want to play this by yourself. What you're going to see in this exercise is you can totally play it with one guitar. But what's kind of cool is if you're in the studio or if you're in a band with two guitar players, one person can play the bottom with one sound, the other person can play the top with a different sound, right? Maybe, heck, let's speed that up even more. So maybe that's how you divide these parts up. So I wrote this riff that is a little bit busy, like I said, but then we're going to split it, and you're going to hear left doing one thing and right doing the other thing, and then when we go to play it together, we'll swap. So one person can play the bottom part, I'll play the top, vice versa. So I'm going to play this groove. I think the first way we'll do it is I'll play it as it is with just one guitar, and then we'll split it up so you can hear how you can divide the parts between two guitars. right, cool. So let's talk about these two parts. You saw in the beginning, I played them all as one part, but now I'm going to split it up, and you'll notice a couple things I changed as far as durations of notes and things like that, because now that we've split it up between two parts, we can take advantage of that. We can take advantage of different tones, we can take advantage of note length and stuff like that, and dynamics, because I'm not having to play the whole thing together. And quite frankly, as fancy maybe as it is playing it with one, I kind of like the sound of it split up. It gives each part a little bit more life. So I'll start with what I consider the bass part, which is really just like, and backing up, when I'm talking about you can give each part a little bit more life. Well, originally when I played it, this first chord, the C major chord, that's the only thing I could really do, right? But when I go to just do the bass part by itself, I can do this cool slide. Now I guess I could have gone, it's fine, but getting that nice staccato sound on B makes it a little bit cooler. So here's the bottom part, and then the next phrase, so C to B, and then B to G. And then we have an A power chord here, and then this little kind of like fifth and third together. So again, I could probably do all those slides, maybe, but it's not going to sound as clear or clean or as interesting unless I split it up between two parts. So that's part A. Part B, I used see here we go. I changed in tones, I put some delay on, had this kind of cool chorus effect, and for a little bit of police action there. Not that kind of police action, but like the Police, you know, the band. Right, so what I did then is I just played sort of like the top of each chord. So for that C major, I'm just playing G, C, G, B, and E strings. So we've got D, E, with an A on top. So boom, goom, right? Boom, goom, and the next phrase, this little double stop hammer on the 7th and 9th fret. Now you can hybrid pick it if you want, or you can just strum it. I think I'm strumming it. Boom, goom, gang, right? And then we have this little melody. Now check this out. When I slide down, the other part's going boom, boom, ba-do, ba-do, right? I think as before, I think that's what I did. So there we have it. A lot going on here. I chose to double up on the bottom part because then we get in the harmony. So ba-do, ba-do, ba-da-da-do. So harmony and then unison. It's kind of a lot here. As you can see, I'm still sort of dissecting it all in my brain. Now the second part of the B part. I'm sorry, let's go back to the A part. Second part of the A part. Take all this noise off. So power chord stuff. One more time. Okay, so on the top, put my sound back here. I took advantage of this sort of like sus flat 2 chord. In the first time I played it, it had to be pretty staccato. right? But in this time, since I'm only having to play that part, I can let it ring. So you get boom, boom, right? And then I chose to make those staccato, as from before when I was playing it all together as one part. I played it like that. So again, taking advantage of the fact that I'm having to do less work. I can get some more mileage out of some of these voicings. Right? And then it ends with just as basically like a D suspended 13. There's both parts at once. So that's pretty much it. I think what we'll do is when we go to play it, again, you can play along with me. I'll be swapping, taking turns playing each part, and so you can dig in and do it yourself along with me. So I'll see you in a minute.